So my name is Louis Twite. I'm the Programs Administrator at the New Mexico Holocaust Museum.
What impact does educating people about the Holocaust have on the community?
Yeah, so there has a lot of impact. So this is a history that a lot of people don't know about, and especially the amount of people who remember it firsthand is diminishing, as we get further and further away from the actual Holocaust. So learning about it teaches people about the importance of cultivating acceptance of people in their own lives. Something like a genocide doesn't just happen all at once. It starts with something as small as a racist comment or a joke about somebody's identity. And learning about the Holocaust empowers us to find these moments where we can stand up for what's right.
New Mexico Holocaust Museum.
It has been around 8 to 9 months now since I've started working at the museum. And in this short amount of time, I've grown to feel more confident in my communication skills and feeling like I really have a voice and can use it instead of whispering. I noticed that I can now project myself in speaking to others more, and I don't get asked to speak up as much as I used to. Being able to project my voice will be useful when communicating in an office setting. Also, being able to create social posts from well-trusted websites will be useful when needing to find and use websites for any work which would require this sort of distribution. I've also learned how to respectfully act in a work environment and feel that when I do get a job, I will be more prepared to do so. My name is Adriana Serna, and I work as a volunteer receptionist and social post maker for the New Mexico Holocaust Museum from 12 to 3 every Wednesday. Not too many people come in throughout the day, but sometimes a bunch of groups would come in at once and it would get pretty hectic. Once a couple came in, and I was checking them in, and a small family came in as I was finishing, and I asked them to please wait as I finished with the people in front of me. One of the men in the second group then asked where the bathroom was, and at the same time the phone began to ring. I was working alone that day, so I quickly told the man where to go and asked the people I was working with to please wait. I then answered the phone, and as I did, another person came in. I had to let them in as the door is usually locked as a safety precaution, and I signaled them to wait. Turns out the phone call was a spam, so I put the phone back and finished with the people in front. The second group needed change, so I had to go to the back room and ask my mentor Lynn to give me the exact change. I then came back and the phone rang again, but thankfully one of the other workers in the back got it for me and I gave the money to the group. They went on their way and I got the last group. After that, it was smoother and quieter, but those few minutes were a lot to handle and I got incredibly stressed quickly, and my mentors told me to always ask for help if something like that ever happened again. It was nice to hear that I have help and don't need to figure out how to handle all of that on my own. Seeing the impact this museum has on those who come in is interesting to experience. Looking over at adults shaking their heads in disgust about human atrocity they are reading about, having conversations with people who felt so deeply about what they read that they had to talk to someone about it, or seeing a high school student from a Santa Fe school cry after she hears the story of a Jewish Holocaust survivor who lost his family and only escaped himself because his parents sent him off to pretend to be the child of a Christian family when he was only about 4 years old. These are true accounts of history that are still important to us today, and especially now more than ever, as we seem to be losing our respect for one another as human beings and are going back in time with our laws and regulations. This relates to my CNM sociology class that I took towards the beginning of my senior project, that also taught me about human behavior and how humans interact when put in different situations. One of my jobs is going through a Jewish encyclopedia from the 1900s, finding an interesting piece of information that includes a picture, and creating a social post about it that will be posted onto the museum's Facebook and Instagram. I usually write up to a paragraph since I am working from another source and not myself. I must use MLA formatting and create an intriguing starter that pulls people in, along with a good conclusion that leaves no obvious questions but leaves the reader wanting to know more. This is where my CNM class comes in. I'm learning about how to professionally write and cite proper essays, and this is helpful in giving me tips on how to better write my social posts and leave less room for errors when my mentors go to revise it. The social post is also one of my goals. I want to be able to help the museum and help spread the word on our history to those who cannot make it to the museum. I learned how to find trustworthy websites, how to manage a group of people, how to respectfully act in a work environment, and most importantly for me, how to speak up and use my voice to communicate with others better. The New Mexico Holocaust Museum has been a wonderful experience where I got to learn a lot about the world's history and see how it can still affect people today. I was so glad to have gotten to meet my mentors, fellow volunteers, and even survivors of the Holocaust, and learn a lot about how we as human beings learn from our mistakes by looking to our past mistakes to help fix our future.